Hi Scorpio, welcome to the full moon in Virgo reading from March 6, 2023. Full moons close out cycles. You're closing out a cycle, and your theme for the cycle is judgment. So these are the aha moments. This is the time when the idea of something really hits home, like you really understand it now. It is a sort of regeneration, it's a new purpose, and you may even know where you stand in the world with the Judgment card, what your place is in the world. But it is epiphanies. It is the removal of boundaries and walls and breaking things down. And let's just see how that plays into your 2 weeks. So, again, full moons close out cycles. You're closing out a cycle of waiting, very possibly. You could still be in this, but it's closing out in the 2 weeks. This is things that are not in your hands. This is a bigger force steering your ship, so you really don't have a hand in it at this moment. This is so that you can see things on with a different perception. A lot of people or a lot of signs have been getting this, as well as the world. So for me, I think we don't have a lot of control in our hands during this new cyclical phase that's happening for everybody. But the idea here with this is to gain wisdom and to understand that you're not always in control of a situation. So let's see what that might be. You have the Hierophant card. So yeah, this is organizations. This is about asking permission. It's red tape. It is large and small organizations. It's religions. It's schools. It's hospitals. It's that kind of thing. Not my favorite card, but some people really like it because there's tradition involved with it. And 5 always brings some instability with it that helps us to, or pushes us to find stability, to find balance. So you could be dealing with big organizations that you have no effect over. A situation where maybe this organization has more power and pull than you do, or traditions have more power and pull than you do during this phase. We'll get more on that in a minute, but they're both major arcana, which means that this can also be a lot of energy in on an internal level. And so you may be trying to understand a moment in time when you don't have control, and trying to figure out how these bigger forces are working, and even how to work within the limitations that could be imposed upon us. Yeah. You have another 5. This is you and how you're dealing with the whole situation, and this is the 5 of Wands. This is a little bit of agitation, so this is you and how you're dealing with this whole thing, and it can cause a little bit of agitation for you. It's progressive because this is cooperative efforts. So you're trying to cooperate in this situation, right? You're trying to do your bit. This is a group that is trying to create something. They're trying to make something happen, and everybody has the same goal in mind, but everybody has a different idea of how to get there. And so we're kind of competing for our particular way to take precedence, or how also we fit into the scheme of things, of structures, of organizations, which can be quite frustrating because, again, this is traditional. These are traditional values. They don't veer off of the norm of what they're used to and what they do and how they do it. So if you have 2 cents, it probably doesn't matter because It's steeped in tradition, right? Organizations. Okay, you also have the Death card, which is associated with Scorpio. So there's transformation, and that's good to see. And I guess with that, with the Five of Wands there, that can also mean that um, there are cooperative efforts in transpiring to transform situations that may be steeped. This can also be asking permission, so it's very possible that in order to create this new thing, you have to fill out some paperwork, you have to deal with organizations in order to change something, in order to transform a situation that you're dealing with. For everybody, it's different, obviously. And even though you're in a situation where you can't really do too much, there's still that effort there. Eventually, however, the things transform with the Death card. The end of one situation, the beginning of something else. This is another card that continually comes up. I guess this is a period for everybody to think back on what's taken place. How would we want to change it? What would we keep? What would we edit? It's a reassessment, but this is also an energy of how do you wait for your fruits to ripen? How do you wait for something to come to fruition or to build? Do you wait with anxiety, agitation, or can you kind of take your hands off of it? Even knowing that at this point there's not much you can do, is it easy enough for you to take control off of the situation and allow a bigger hand to deal with it? With the Seven of Pentacles. With that, you have the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords for me is holding two opposing thoughts simultaneously, making it quite difficult to make a decision. And so in the reassessment of this situation, you may find it difficult to cut some things out of your plans, of your life plans, let's put it that way. But once you do, you restore peace. So it's very possible that just making that decision, that reassessment, what do you want to add, what do you want to take away? And in this case, I'm going to say take away, because this Two of Swords is like a scissor for me. It's choice. Two is always duality, right? Choice, this or that. And so there is a decision that needs to be made here of cutting one thing off for something else. This could be on a financial level because of the Seven of Pentacles, or it could accumulate to a financial position, a financial decision that needs to be made, something that is feeling unstable for you. Okay. I don't know if there are some changes going on in your work environment. If you work in, well, most places are organizations, but there could be some changes going on there as well that could affect finances. All right, let's get some clarification. We're looking for allies here. We're looking out into the world. 3 is a creative number. Sending out maybe resumes. That's possible. Looking for allies, though, for sure. And this is somebody who sends out their ships with all their goods on it that they've accumulated. They're looking for people who can help them out in their endeavors. They're looking for people who can help co-create or be part of the group, but on a very beneficial level. Interesting. So it feels to me almost like if you can't do it yourself, you can find somebody who can do it, right? With the 3 of Wands there. It's not in your hands, but maybe somebody else can figure it out. Let me see if there's anybody out there who can help me to figure out this situation, help me to deal with whatever it is that that I'm dealing with. If there is a company that's in trouble, they might be looking to merge. That kind of scenario. If or they're looking for people to come in and help reassess the situation and put it back into a position where things can work again, where things are not unsteady. 5 is instability, and we're definitely looking for something to change here. If you're not working with an organization, you may look to an organization to help you out in your situation. Okay. 10 of Cups is nice in this position. That's you. You have a good attitude. This is the card of faith and faith in the future and emotional harmony. So we're going from 5 to 10, right? We're going to this agitated state to a state of harmony, and that's what's changing here. Indeed, that's what's changing. You might be looking into schools to get you further, okay, with this, because this is also schools. And it's almost, it feels like you've come to a place where you're a little bit stuck or you can't do anything, and so you're going to look out into the vast world to see who or what can bring you some knowledge, possibly. Because there's a feeling of wanting some harmonious change here, something harmonious. Okay, we want to be in harmony with that 10 of Cups. On the negative level with the 10 of Cups, that could be seeing things through rose-colored glasses, and if it is, that's also going to end. But I don't really see that here because there's agitation with that 5 of Wands. It is cooperative efforts, like I said, but it's still not harmonious. Okay. And Temperance. This is also a big card that's coming out in a lot of readings. Patience. Patience is necessary during this moment of alchemy. This is a refinement to our ideas, right? Reassessing the situation. And temperance is alchemy. So it's turning base metals into gold, and that takes a time because you have to extract, right? You have to edit. You have to extract something. You have to create a chemical reaction, and that takes time. So on a deeper level, the Temperance card is balancing, right? Harmony, and looking for balance, finding the perfect balance between thought and emotion. On a very deep level, finding that balance between the two of them so that they can be effective, so that it can create what it is that you want to create in your life. And you need some harmony, you need some balance in your life to do that, Scorpio. But with that Death card there, it's sure to happen. I think you have to be a little more patient with the Temperance card in the future or as a result. But things are changing. It's just going to be a bit of a slower change. And that cutting off of situations or editing is probably going to help that to balance out. There's something about balance here. It could also be a physical thing with the 7 of Pentacles, right? Could be your health. I find this to be very vague. So I think when that happens, I think the finer details are with each individual. I don't know that there's, I mean, this is kind of thematic, yes, but it feels pretty vague to me. So I think there can be a lot of different smaller scenarios going on in a lot of people's world. It's not a really big major theme, other than this transformation that's taking place. This is my no card, the Hierophant. So you may have gotten a no answer to some of the inquiries that you feel like, yeah, I don't have any control over that. There's nothing I can do about it, right? This gives you an agitated feeling and the need to want things to change for a happier, emotional, harmonious life. This is also the feeling of, home and family. So this can also be the marriage card, and maybe things are happening within a relationship that you have no control over, and you're seeking for that harmony. You're seeking to kind of find the balance within the agitation that's going on in your particular situation. Those green tights are really coming out to me. So maybe you're having some, as a physical thing, you could be having some circulatory problems. Maybe you might have some problems with your legs or some circulation in your legs. And green is also the heart, so that's why I'm saying circulation. But it can also be green is just like it's a light green, so it's just budding. It's just starting to happen. It's it's that beginning sprig that's pretty and light and really that bright kind of green. It's just starting to take place. That kind of feeling, but I don't know. It's popping out to me, so I really feel like there can be some circulation in the legs that you need to be dealing with on a physical level, or just circulation in general. Doesn't have to even be the legs, but it could be. Okay. What does Spirit want you to know? You have the Ten of Pentacles. That's great. That's great. It's a legacy card. It's sharing what you have. So it doesn't have to be finances. It doesn't have to be money. It could be the things that you've created. And this feeling of wanting to share with community. That's interesting. Because here you're sending out your ships, right? Maybe you're sending them out to see who can distribute what it is that you are creating. I don't know, for some reason I feel like this is sending out your resume, because there's money involved here with the Ten of Pentacles. And this can also be the experience that you've accumulated up until now. This is a very communicative card, but it's also the dailies. So it's just life as usual. And who you talk to during the day and who you deal with during the day. And, the guy at the gas pump, the person behind the barista, the person behind the cafe. It's that kind of energy. It is communications, though, and there can be a lot of nice banter and nice talks. But why would Spirit want you to know that? For me, it's about sharing your wealth in this case. Sharing what it is you know. What does it mean to you to... what do you have in your satchel that you can share with other people? Whether it's knowledge... physical labor, what can you do for community? And it's also finance, Maybe people are sharing with you. Maybe you're sharing with other people. This can be an accumulation of wealth, but it's so much so that you can share it with other people. And that's not bad, right? Maybe that's something that you're looking towards as well. But it's very often for me like, when I leave, what do I want people to say about me? Um, what did I contribute to my community? What did I contribute to my world? And that can be, your small world, your family, or one at large, or the community, or just within an organization. What do you have to offer, right? What have you accumulated so far that you can offer to others? And that seems to bring you into some harmony. And I think these are the things that you're going to kind of understand in the next 2 weeks with that judgment card, because the judgment card for me in this case is the aha moment, but it's also pushing back these barriers, right? Pushing back these traditional values and traditional ways of thinking and rules, and finding a different balance, finding a new balance, finding a new way. But there's something here that you kind of need to understand with the Hanged Man, a different perception, a different way of looking at something that you do that can help community at large. Interesting. And I think that comes, but it comes slowly, right? Okay. Well, the Ten of Pentacles is also saying, and the Ten of Cups, right? You are ending a cycle, beginning something new simultaneously. And that can take a lot of energy, and it can be aggravating, and you can be dealing with a lot of different people and a lot of different levels. And I think that's why it feels so vague and kind of spread out to me. I don't think it's a focus on one thing in particular. I think it's feeling like there's a lot of different things going on, and you might even be spread too thin, you know? But I see you reassessing that. I see you cutting off situations, maybe some workload, um, and trying to bring some balance back in, which you will, absolutely. And somehow this brings you some harmony and some wealth, and that can't be wrong, right? Um, in fact, that's very, very good. And thus, the Judgment card, a reawakening, reestablishing yourself on a different foot, even. Okay. Well, I hope this has been helpful. I will be back in 2 weeks with a new moon reading. I do dailies, and I have the journaling with the archetypes video out. If you're interested, it doesn't have a lot of views, but it'll always be there in case you need it, and I'll add to it. I think it's interesting and it's helpful, but that's your choice. All right, take care. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you soon.